What is up, folks? Welcome back to another exciting episode here at Dog Times Productions. My name is Justin Phillip. If it's your first time visiting the channel here, this is just all about videography, cinematography, and low-budget indie filmmaking. So welcome, and I hope you find this video beneficial. A while back, guys, I did a review of this variable ND from Simmod. Really amazing ND. I highly recommend you check out that comparison video. I compared it with the Tiffen IR variable ND. Now, if you know anything about the history of BlackMagic cameras, they do suffer from IR pollution. And actually, all NDs suffer from some state or some form of IR pollution. I don't care how cheap they are or how expensive they are, how variable they are, or how square they are. There is some form of IR pollution going on with those NDs. It's just the nature of the beast. So this has been a few videos we've put out here and there with different IR pollution tests and things of that nature. So today I took the BlackMagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K out back there on the patio and just did some tests. You know, what I have this IR cut. Now you can pick these up anywhere from $25 to $75, just depending on the brand and the metal. Now this one is from a company called ICE. I also have another one made by Hoya. It's just an IR UV cut. So they're pretty inexpensive things. One thing I will say that's nice about the Simmod ND is that they have the screw on, they have it pushed out away from the disc and away from the glass. So you can stack filters with this. If you had like a quarter black pro mist filter, or you had a UV IR cut filter, or whatever kind of filter you have, they make it possible where you can still stack and have a variable ND for outdoors, and you're not going to suffer any form of vignetting. So that's really nice of Simmod, and it worked out great for this IR test. Now, at first I was just shooting out into some trees, you know, that's what everyone dogs on, of course, and to the naked eye, I wasn't really noticing much. And even when I brought it into DaVinci, still wasn't noticing much of a difference. So then what I did, I decided to do a skin tone test and just use myself. Now, I was standing in the shade of my back patio here, but however, still bright out, still sunny out, still 6,300 Kelvin reading on the gray card, okay? I did it with the IR cut and without the IR cut. Now, shooting on the BlackMagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, the native ISO 400, 23.98 frames per second. I was shooting on the Rokinon Cine 50mm lens. I was at a T4 with the Metabones Ultra, and of course, with and without the IR cut, and with the Simmod Variable ND, and again, 6,300 degrees Kelvin. Now, it doesn't look too bad here. You'll notice side by side here, they look pretty normal, I guess, to the naked eye. I couldn't even really see any differences on the Shinobi until I started looking at the RGB waveform. And then when I brought it into DaVinci, check this out. I took some screenshots for you guys. Now, this is with the IR cut. Now notice that parade. Everything's looking pretty good. It's right there on 738. That's actually where I like to ride my highlights. Now this was shot in BlackMagic RAW Q5 with film log. So this, you are looking at the raw film log footage. I kind of like what's going on with the IR cut if you look at the parade. Now check out what happens to the parade when I took the IR cut filter off. Now check that out. You see there's some peaking going on there with all three colors. You'll notice the parade's going a little wonky there, but I'm going to just leave that there. And what I think is, maybe the Simmod Variable ND combined with the Pocket 4K does find using an IR cut advantageous. Just look at the parade, you know? But here's the cool part. Matteo Bertoli over there at Buttery Films, he sent me a new Natural Rec 709 LUT. It's version 3 for the Pocket 4K, hot off the press. He shot it over to me, and I thought, oh, this is great. So let's throw it in here and check it out. I laid it in here when we did this IR test. And I also still have version 2 of that Natural Rec 709 LUT from Buttery Films. And then, of course, I still have Tom Antos's and Rocket Rooster's. And then I decided to do a little Brady Bunch, little side-by-side view of all 4 of them there, and you'll see what's going on. Now, this is without IR cut. And here, all 4 of them are with the IR cut. Now, I always do these, like, I've been doing these LUT comparison videos lately and just kind of leaving everything in the air, not really giving my own 2 cents on it. And I had people, like, hitting me up about it. So I guess I'll finally break down and comment a little bit on these particular LUTs. right out the gate, I'm kind of biased, and I'm kind of a big fan of Mateo's and Buttery Films. The version 2, I was pretty satisfied with it. I did think that it was handling the skin tones very interestingly, I will say, but I liked what it was doing. It has an interesting saturation. Now this version 3, I think is much better in my opinion overall. I think it handles the saturation better, mainly with my particular skin tone. I noticed that in my previous video that because I'm naturally red, so anything that kind of has a harsh saturation, it's gonna make me super red. And if you saw my last video where I tried to match vlog footage with Blackmagic raw footage, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Buttery Films Natural Rec 709 LUT, my skin was more red than usual, right? But version 3, I think, is handling the saturation pretty well with my particular skin tone. Now, like I said, I don't really have a normal skin tone. I come from a Native American bloodline, so I'm naturally red, right? I'm a red blood, right? But this is one particular instance where I kind of dug what Tom Antos's Pocket 4K LUT was doing as well. Now, this particular version that I have of his is version 3. I don't know if there was a 1 and 2. This is just what was sent to me. I just literally wrote what the file name is, right? So it's Tom Antos's BIMC 4K LUT V3, right? So I'm imagining that means version 3. And I will say overall, you can even notice in this side-by-side comparison here, his is still clipping the highlights, borderline clipping the highlights. His LUT is really harsh on the highlights. And you can tell it's pretty contrasty, but with my particular facial features, I kind of like how contrasty it is. I have a pretty harsh face. You know, I have a lot of lines and crevices and things going on here. I grew up in Florida, right? So I know I'm a leather face, okay? You're not gonna hurt my feelings. But I kind of like what the contrast of his LUT was doing actually in this particular shot under these particular lighting conditions. But like I said, it is harsh on the contrast and it is harsh on the highlights. And then here, the Rocket Rooster one down there in the corner is, there's some weird stuff going on with that one. I'm not sure what's going on. It's pretty harsh on the saturation. The green levels are weird. And just overall, it just seems to have like a weird haze over it. I'm not really digging what's going on with it. I didn't notice that in my past video, but with this particular lighting setup, with this situation, it's something very strange is going on with it, and it's very clear to see. But those guys know. They said they're gonna hit back the drawing board. But I will say overall, out of these 4, my go-to is gonna be that new version 3 of Buttery Films Natural Rec 709. I really dig it. I think you guys nailed it on this one. So yeah, go ahead, leave your comments below what you guys think about it. A lot of people are, you know, some people like poo-poo LUTs. I don't really understand that. I mean, they're pretty awesome to have on set, especially if you're working with a client. Clients don't always understand what they're looking at, and if they're looking at the film log, they're gonna be like, this is what it's gonna look like. You know, they don't understand, you know, so LUTs are super beneficial to have that. You know, usually what I do is, it's great with the Pocket 4K. This is a great opportunity for me to show you guys my recent setup here. So you guys, if you know my channel, I'm always sharing my little rig, and you'll see here I got my faux V-tap battery here. This is, you see how I did that? I put a little cheese plate, put my power station on there. Yeah, and right now I'm rocking my side handle with my top handle. And as always, you guys know the word. If you're interested in any of my stuff, there's a link down below. Check out my entire indie filmmaking kit at kit.com, and there's a link, and go check it out if you're like, oh, if you're new here. I always say that for people that are new here, so sorry for you guys that watch every video and you're like, I'm so sick of him saying that. But anyways, yeah, so this is my recent setup. But what I like about this is that I have it set up to where on the actual Blackmagic screen, I can look at the film log version, and then out to my monitor, I'm sending the LUT, right? So, and with the Shinobi, it makes it super easy to just load any of the LUTs, and I can have 8 in there at once and just easily swap them in and out. And but it's just nice to have a LUT for the clients to look at, so they're not losing their mind if they're like, why does this look so flat, you know? Because they wouldn't, a lot of clients don't even know to call it flat. They'll just be like, this looks like crap. You know, so But that's where I find LUTs the most beneficial. And like I've always said before, it's great to have as a base. And that's what's great about all 4 of these LUTs actually. They're all being designed to be like a base LUT that you color off of, you know, to get you to a nice flat line. And that's what's great about the Buttery Films Rec 709 LUT version 3. I think it's just a great base to start with. As always, if you guys are interested in that, they're still honoring the code. Put in this code right here, Justin5, and you go over there to butteryfilms.com/LUTs and put a bunch of stuff in your shopping cart there, and you will get 5% off your entire order. Just put in the promo code Justin5, all right? So they're doing that as a little token to all of my viewers and subscribers. So that's a huge awesome thank you to Mateo and Buttery Films and all those guys at large over there. And as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. There's some crazy stuff going on. Like, you know, I started this channel as a way to build a community of low-budget indie filmmakers, and that's totally what has happened. So many of you guys are constantly reaching out, and I love responding to all the comments and responding to all the stuff. And it's been really great. Shout out to my boy John Mark. He found me through the channel here, and he's a wedding videographer. I'm gonna put a link down to his Instagram below. You guys should check him out. He's also a local Los Angelino here, okay? And he's shooting my wedding this Saturday, so I'm pretty excited about that. And also, another subscriber called me a few nights ago, and now I'm gonna help him create his first feature film. So there's tons of awesome stuff happening right here, and it's awesome. It's super awesome. And also, I'd like to say that if you are on my Vimeo, over there I did drop my fiance, soon-to-be wife's, that sounded weird, her latest short film, Story Time with Pip. Now, it was on my YouTube channel for a hot minute, for maybe like 45 minutes, and I had to take it down because I accidentally uploaded the wrong version of the short film. But it was fine because she wasn't really ready to have it on YouTube yet. But it is still over there on Vimeo because she was sharing it with her family and friends and stuff on Easter. However, I'm just saying all that to say that it won Audience Choice Award as Best Film of Spring 2019. So that was pretty cool because I did the cinematography for it, and I'm actually pretty proud of the way it turned out. But also I did do a tutorial a while back, lighting tutorial on the day we were like on set shooting some of it. So if you're interested in any of that, I'm gonna put a link to the tutorial down below. I'm also gonna put a Vimeo link to the little short film if you want to check it out. It's called Story Time with Pip. It's a pretty entertaining little movie. The one that I made sadly did not get chosen at all by the audience. However, I was there the first night. They showed it 2 nights back to back, and it was a pretty big hit over there at Los Angeles College. It was getting a pretty good response, lots of laughter, and that's good because it is a comedy. It's called Throne of the King. If you follow my IMDb, I will be posting it on here very shortly, maybe sometime, I don't know, coming up next few days after the wedding or something. I'll probably throw it up. It's actually episode 3 of my little web series on AVAIL. None of the episodes go together, you know. It's just kind of a little thing I made to keep my knives sharpened in my tool set of cinematography and directing and producing. And also I have a lot of actor friends, so it's good to keep their little character knives sharpened up too. So be on the lookout for that. I will be dropping that very soon. And yeah, it's super exciting, all the stuff going on. I got a great video coming up comparing the Tilt the Max Gravity GX2 with my GlideCam Devin Graham series, and yeah, all this stuff. I think I've talked enough. As always, thank you for watching. Big shout out and gigantic thank you to all of my loyal subscribers. And for now, that's a wrap.